It's 7 o'clock, so let's get started. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bill. I am honored to be the moderator for today's conference forum. I first would like to acknowledge that this meeting is taking place on the traditional territory of the Somalia speaking Chinchilla people. I would like to welcome Danielle Dalton, the Training and Assessment Coordinator at Hackett's Grade Education Development Society of Canada. We are joined today by the mayoral and council candidates who will have the opportunity to introduce themselves in just a moment. First, the rules and format of this evening's. Each candidate will be allotted 1 minute to make their statement, starting with Mr. Bjorndal and working through all candidates by alphabetical order. Candidates are asked not to interrupt opening or closing statements. Following opening statements will be the question and answer period. Answers to questions will be limited to 1 minute to ensure as wide a discussion as possible. Each candidate will have a turn to answer. When you hear this sound, your turn is up. Candidates will have the use of a rebuttal card that allows the candidate to give a 30-second response or rebuttal to a question. To end our forum, there will be closing statements. Each candidate will have 1 minute for their closing statement, given in alphabetical order. Therewith, I invite Mr. Bjorndal to start the closing statements.
Thank you. Good evening to you all. I wish to thank the chamber and you all for coming tonight. My name is Bill Bjorndal. I'm running for a second term as mayor of the beautiful town of Morehead. I grew up in Minnesota. I lived in Morehead for 16 years. During my last term as mayor, my platform was to initiate and promote residential and industrial growth. We began with the old railroad. We have to develop our start the first phase. The old school site has a proponent that can see up to 48 acres where it's housing. We have much work to do on traffic business. We have the LNG plant up at Royal Bay and Ocean Trails. We were successful in having the train western stop. We built 2 roads, following everything, not sure there's much work to be done, and I believe that my background and experience are successfully lead this effort. Again, I thank you all for listening and hope that we have a very successful report.
Right, so now we have the introduction of our candidates. We have our mayoral candidates. We have Bjorndal, Sean, Credit, Carson, James, and then we have 4 council candidates: James Brown, Dan Ramsey, Christine McKenzie, Colin McDonald, and Gavin Hatch. So I am going to start the timer now. And you start on this side are candidates.
Hi, my name is Sean Pettit. I've been living in this town since 1987. I moved here from Manitoba. I worked at the grain elevator at Milk Garden. My 36 years was a work group there. In my time in Port Edward, I was 30 years in the fire department here and 16 years as chief. I really value this community and the people in it. I want to see the best for the community. Always that way, and I still continue to look for it. That's why I'm running for the mayor's position. I believe I have a lot to offer. I can, if successful, can get in with a good team and be able to work really well and be able to bond with everybody so that we can work as a really good team and move forward for the community. The biggest thing that I see is we have to listen to the people we have. Thank you.
Okay. You're all met. Born and raised in Rupert. Commercial fishing along most of the North Coast. I've also got a red seal carbon ticket Now I'm retired. I think I've got a lot to offer for that. I've lived out here off and on. When I first started lived out there was in my 20s and gone. And back again in my 40s and gone. Back now, I'm bought this. But I'm retired now, and I think I've got a lot to offer in the way of my experience in building. I built walls in Alberta, houses, size of this place. So I've got a background in that. I think that would help moving forward in Fort Edmonton. I don't have to rely on somebody to pull them up, well, we do this, we do that. No, I don't. I'd like to see some more low-cost housing.
That'd be a good idea. That'd be a good idea.
And
I think that would help their life.
I got a lot of them. I'll stand up. Now we have Lawrence.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jason. I'm a lifetime resident of here over 50 years. And I'm married to my wife, my beautiful wife, for 27 years, Deborah. She's always been there for me. And she makes me strong to represent the district of Port Edward. I've always cared about the district of Port Edward and the safety of Port Edward. And we really put our minds together the last couple of councils on strategic planning for district of Port Edward. And I'm always have my door open and my phone number out there in the brochures I'm handing out to you. If you ever have any kind of concern. And my Mishkan name is Site Blue Hill. Will with kind in the cold. Site Blue Hill means gathering of the people. Thank you.
And that is time. So we have Dan.
I'm Dan Branson, I've been here for 32 years, and I've served 4 terms on council. I've got lots of experience at UBCM, I've got lots of experience at the MCLGA, and regional district rep. Because of COVID over the last 2 years, a lot of things that we had planned in our strategic planning kind of got wrecked. So, really looking forward to really good 4-year term, and we've got a lot of unfinished stuff that we have started and work to start that we really need to continue with. So, we're happy to see it.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Christine McKenzie. I've lived in Port Edward for 29 years. My husband is born and raised in Prince Rupert. We have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and I first decided to run for council. I like the area. I wanted to see improvement. I wanted to see the school happening. When my kids went to school here, there was about 90 kids in our school. We only did 24 of it, but now we're down to 10. So we need people to move here, the children to keep our school going. As a community without an elementary school, it is not a good place to move to. Housing is definitely important. Low-income housing, that conversation can blow your mind. They call affordable housing right now is between $500,000 and $800,000 a month. Is what is called affordable housing. I don't know who can afford it. Thank you. Yes,
Good evening, my name is Pauline McDonald. Like everyone, I've been here for a long time. I've been here for 32 years. I was born and raised in Prince Rupert. I raised my 2 children here. When they were going to school, I decided to run for school trustee, so I served for 9 years at that school. My idea about Port Ed is summed up in the term Port Ed Way. And I think our community could use some urban planning so that there's a little bit more tightness to our community. We just started a group here. We call ourselves Peaks. It's the Port Ed event planners. We did the Port Ed community cleanup and the kickoff the summer barbecue picnic out there, trying to get the community back together. We need some emergency planning to keep our university out there that is pretty unpredictable. We need better recreation in our community. We need to help the community where people can go use access to the water. And thank you.
Access to the water is good.
Good evening, my name is Kevin Bunch, I'm running for council. My wife Melanie and I returned to the North Coast in 2018 after 5 years away looking after elderly family members. We were relocated to Fort Edward to the close-knit feeling community, a sense that we can also become part of the hometown environment. I'm hardworking, reliable, do not stop until the job is completed. With a long career in heavy construction, as project manager, construction superintendent on bridge projects, hydroelectric dams, and as a shipyard production manager, I always worked to maintain schedules and budgets. I enjoyed working with stakeholders and was able to mentor many of our staff. When I was invited to join the Fort Edward Board of Variance Committee, I jumped at the opportunity to get involved in the planning process. I've been encouraged by many people in the community to run for council. I chose to enter the race to represent you, council. Thank you for that.
Thank you. To continue on, I'm a council of many years' experience, and I learned over time that we need to listen to the community and to listen to concerns. And I'm very honored and humbled to continue this because we still got a lot that we started and we want to finish to see and bring here. As most of you guys know, we have a battle for and
So now we move on to our question and answer period. Same rules, 1 minute, I'll stand up. So we will start on the right, and then all of the questions. There's a bit about more if you want, and at the end of questions to be answered, So our first question is, affordable housing is an issue in every community in the country. What are your solutions for solving the affordable housing shortage in Canada?
We have two developments on the goal today. One is the old school, which we're waiting for our home to come up with it. The other one is the trailer. We have a proponent going to start to build it. We'll have to scale back on all single family, probably duplexes or fourplexes. It's the cost of single family homes, not to the roof, to the high cost of business of building materials and the rising insurance costs. This makes it unaffordable. The old school site is well suited to multi-family and other types of dwelling. The old school site proponent is presently working through the economics and effects and mix of housing. We will bring to the council recommendations on the
Affordable housing is a complex challenge which needs solid efforts to lessen the impacts of home buyers and for the rented. If elected, I'm hoping we can strike up a committee to look at all avenues with our municipal government to assist in any way possible all potential affordable house buyers and affordable house renters. Why are BC housing and Indigenous housing in Prince Rupert not important? Our beautiful community, affordable housing such as them will be a major draw for new members to our community. The affordable housing is something that everybody's looking at. They want to see what we can do. It's a problem across the country, so it's going to take a team to try and solve it. We've got to work hard at it. We've got to listen to the people that we have in Port Ed to see what everybody's views are, what they want to do. We can't just straight out say, I think this is what happened.
Okay, the old school, let's not say it's ridiculous. To transform that into apartments just cost prohibitive nowadays. it's not gonna work. You know what things cost nowadays? I couldn't imagine it should be bulldozed and new building put up with anything. A small community like this will never afford that. Now, my idea would be like the old village, or bring in modular homes. They're half the price of a new home. What's wrong with that? You get a 3-bedroom house, 1,400 square feet for 200 grand. You can't, to build a duplex, two of those together is going to cost you next to $1 million for these projects. It doesn't make sense. Bring modulars in, you got homes. It's fast and it's affordable.
Importing.
And next,
Import Edward, we knew for a long time, 0 vacancy. We brought it to council, we raised the issue, and we are now moving on it. And as a council, we made decisions that we're going to use, purchase the old trailer court and make it into affordable homes, along with the old school location. The old school location, the school is, it's run down. It's had its time. It's sad to see that old school go, but it'd be nice to see affordable houses put up there for bringing back our families, our friends that still ask till this day if there's any housing out there. They ask me every year, almost like every time I see an old friend, is there any housing out there? This is why I push it at the council level, and the rest of council got on board, and they understand that we need affordable housing out there. Thank you.
next.
It's a tough question because, everybody's going to repeat the same thing, but this project that we have going here at the trailer court is already, and we started in the spring of conversations on the lower part, and to your homes, and then really that's owned by the top. That is the plan for that. We're not going to redo the old school. The old school is going to be torn down, and it's going to be up to 40 units up there with affordable housing. You couldn't redo that school, it is called mold, and it's no good. We already know that. There's some other projects we're working on. We definitely need to build some new homes here. There's a lot of old stock in town, but not so much new stuff. And we really move on that. Thank you.
And next.
Awesome. Everybody said everything already, but something that I would like to add is we do need more seniors housing. I think that we could have another unit like we have this senior housing here along this way. Those units are awesome. I would like to move into these. Affordable housing, man, we're working on it. And before COVID, things got done way faster. But with COVID, anything that took 2 months now takes 2 years. The assessments, the government, we need to tear that school down. Everybody knows that, but there are many bucks to do it. No, so we're at the government trying to get some government funding to get that school knocked down so that we can move to the next phase. We're on it. We're on it. We hear you. We're on it, but time is time. We're dealing with that. So it's good that we're developing up here. I'm actually quite happy to be doing something with that property. And the school is sitting. I don't want to see a typical apartment building put in though. We need some type of housing for families, 2 and 3 bedrooms, so that people can actually feel like they're living here. I don't think we're going to be able to attract enough people out here if it's just the same old small type of dwellings. Because really the goal should be for us to try to get some families that really want the school to be filled up, get some energy back in the community. So there's also the possibility of rezoning perhaps certain areas into residential, getting out of the light industrial. And like I said, there's possibilities to mix up the neighborhoods a little bit. You don't have to have all the houses in one area. You don't have these stores or any kind of services or get boots on the ground. So that's what
Thank you. And lastly, Mr. Marsh.
As pointed out by the moderator, affordable housing is an issue in every community in the country. I feel we're not going to solve this problem. It's a work in progress. I believe that we, and any municipal council, does not have the ability to control the real estate board or the real estate industry. It doesn't have to matter. It needs to be taken to the federal level. Our country's first ever national housing strategy has $72 billion given in February of this past year to create more housing and create thousands of well-paying middle-class jobs. I will quote federal housing advocate. We'll put particular focus on those with the greatest housing needs, such as women and children fleeing domestic violence, seniors, indigenous people, the health and addiction issues, veterans, young people, and newcomers to Canada. I feel this is where we as a council need to hear what the federal government proposes.
Now we have time for our comments.
Yes, I'd just like to say a few things on the old school and what we've done. The old school is not the purpose. The old school has to be torn down. It's full of asbestos, it's got black mold in the basement. We had the government tear that down. We would be on our way to doing something today. But with any types of housing today, we need government, both federal and provincial. We've worked extremely hard, myself, staff, on lots of football.
That's all the time we have to talk about this.
Yeah, I agree with the previous speakers about reaching out to the government, and which we did. We were in meetings and sent letters to ask for continuing funding. And we did a plan, whereas we had to put a plan together where we explained why we need affordable housing out here. And multi-homes for families, not just apartments or condominiums.
So, her question for you. Her question, not hers. All right, so our next question is very similar, but we'll sort of together and this time spin on it. Good. Do you have any plans for more affordable senior and family housing? Can we spin on that question? That's a little more specific. We will start with this question.
Do you have any plans for affordable senior family oriented housing? Yeah, we do. There's potential for more affordable senior family oriented housing. The rising building costs, as some of the other candidates have talked about, the supply chain shortages we all are fully aware of, and the lack of tradespeople. And having to explore might be sectional pre-built homes. We have the largest Canadian manufactured building company in BC Interior. However, let's maybe get better services to address the needs, maybe a laundromat in town, or even a grocery store. How affordable is housing when only part of the equation? How affordable will it be if you support services are in another city, traveling to get your basic needs, your groceries, your laundry done? That will cost more to the residents.
Thank you. And next,
As Christine mentioned earlier, we do have a seniors complex that's here beside us. It's unfortunate that we didn't develop it to have more units in it, but I don't think that was a choice. It would be nice to see something extended over there. Another idea that I think we might overlook is I have a senior mother-in-law's aging in place, and if we can do something for homeowners so they can provide space for their family member to either live in their own home and have family members live with them, we know that the manor is exactly a place that there's no room over there. So that's an option to try to get more caregiver support for communities and individuals to let their family members stay with them. Family friendly, as I said, zoning bylaws, make sure that when we're building, we have 2 3-bedroom homes, so the families can live there, and they're not, given no choices to grow their families once they get out of their stages.
Alright, thank you. Next, we have
I'm definitely for more seniors housing as I am a senior. So I really like how you can live in my basement. I like how his idea of making it or trying to help family members so that they can keep the elderly people. That's an excellent idea. We've got more land around us we can build on, but again, it comes to, like Kevin said, contract, supply, demand. It's like, if we could wave a wand and have things done, we would do it. We spend hours talking over these, the same consistencies all this time. 2 and 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and parking. That's what we want. We don't want a square block with a whole bunch of little tiny places for 2 people to live in. We want something so people can move out here with 1 child and grow to 2 or 3. We can't do that on a little place.
Well, I love all the senior. I'm headed there too, but these units that we have out here, they are awesome units. And when we designed those units with the major company that built them, they're designed to add on to. Right, because you take out that wall, we can keep going on. And design, we could probably put another 16 units in there, but there's still tons of room out here. So senior housing is definitely one of the top priorities. We have lots of seniors in our community, and it's an easy go. Sitting there, shovel ready to go. Thank you.
and next.
Absolutely, I'm in favor of that. I raised it at the council level too, about expansion of our existing. We as a council were in favor of that, senior housing. It was our council and our time that put it in there. And I raised the issue about more expansion for the future. Because of the growing list. We've got a growing list in the office, people wanting to go there. And when we move in, there's a lot of people that missed out and really wanted. I'm in favor because we have power by seniors and they love to be in whatever, someone that I heard. They keep asking me to, I don't know what to say. We're working on it. It doesn't happen overnight.
Thank you. Next, we
I agree with Mr. Johnson. He will also put out and say, But there's another thing, we have to have more businesses up here to have the tax base to do more. And the lots grew up below the store here, would have had more jobs and more people. That was done through this office. We have to take a look at that for our tax bases. Try to get more businesses up here. Then we can do something. It's quite simple.
thank you.
Yeah, I do agree with the modular homes. I believe they're a lot cheaper, a lot easier to be able to put in, a lot less materials, manpower over, so I do agree with that. I do agree that we need more business out here. I believe we have to, even though it sounds funny, we need to give a bit of a tax incentive to bring businesses out here, to bring a store out here that's going to be providing people's basic needs, to be able to bring maybe a small clothing shop, to bring a couple restaurants, something that's going to attract people so that when they want to move into this community, they're here. It's also going to make it better for the seniors that do live here because they're not having to go to town, they're not having to jump on the bus to go somewhere else. They can get their supplies here. We definitely need more seniors housing. I know this complex works well. We have a benefit compared to Prince Rupert. We have land we can develop. Prince Rupert's running out of lands. We have lots more we can develop here and we can attract a lot more people.
And
Thank you. A few months back, actually during COVID, we did a housing study. We had a consultant do it. We had it online. People could comment online on the pandemic. Probably caused a lot of seniors housing is a very touchy subject. It has to be almost wholly subsidized by the government. Government subsidized all age groups across time. If we're going to have seniors, family-oriented houses, the government has to step up. We don't have the taxes in Port Edmonton to support building houses other than that, those people that can afford it. So if we're going to have affordable housing, we have to get there.
Now we will start our calls. So about 30 seconds and
Thank you. I agree that, we have to engage with the government or the BC Housing in regards to working together with them and making sure that we go out the right grants and that we have the funding there to match those grants. Just like we did to bring this one up here and bring more businesses up here so that there's things for the seniors to do and revisit the bus schedule.
I'm sorry,
This is a very touchy issue. I can tell you that. We have lots of land out there. The problem is Prince Rupert has lots of land too, but it costs a fortune to dig up a muskeg and refill it with materials. We're not looking at something that we can accomplish all on our own. And we've talked about this at previous councils that I was on.
So our next question, and we will start. Just one more question. Oh, one more rule, sorry.
We have the land out here.
Hang on, let me start again. And
We have the land out here, so if the business wants to move in, okay, let's attract it, let's give them a deal on the land. Let's not try to have the biggest price and you shoot yourself in the foot. If the real world doesn't work out, that's it.
Something that James actually tried to bring up in just a few seconds. We don't want to overlook the fact that it might be a chicken and egg situation for us here. We want people to want to come to Port Ed. So do we start turning it into a community that's more enticing for people, and then have that infrastructure in place, have those businesses in place, have transportation in place, because that's critical, because we don't have a very good bus service right now. Before we go ahead and start building all these units, because you don't want to get
okay, so did I get all the ones? Okay, now I'll actually answer this. So our next question has, with a high traffic railroad running in close proximity to the community, how would you increase rail safety? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. The railroad is the lifeblood. It's mostly economic activity in this area. However, carry dangerous goods with open lines. We were successful having the listening stop. We're working closely with the CN, spending $2 million of our money. The CN has trained 400 firefighters with CN's loss. And that's firefighting equipment located in strategic locations in this area, along with those people that handle dangerous goods. CN and Pembina have contributed $50,000 each to a new fire truck before that. Other terminal operators made small contributions. We're a solid growing dollar to CN and Pembina.
The CN, increasing safety for CN, Unfortunately, because they're federally regulated, we don't have a lot of say in anything that they do. Other than we can have meetings with them and try and encourage them that possibly we want slower speeds for the community. We can encourage, they should be getting, even when I was on the fire department, the training, as Mr. Gordell talked about. So getting training through CN and learning how to work with their first responders so that if something bad does happen, our firefighters, our first responders are trained and well started, so it minimizes the effect that whatever the incident is will have on the community. Once our members are there and they start, then CN will come in and they'll be able to take over and work with our firefighters and still continue to do it. But unfortunately, other than that, we really don't have a lot of say on CN safety.
Yeah, we have nothing to say to the CN, they're their own entity. You can hop up and down the tracks and yell at them, that's what they want. Now they put a fence up, which is a start. They could have a fence right through the community, I'd like to see that. But they're not gonna do what we say. They're gonna do the absolute minimum, and that's the railroad. That's about it. Again,
Yeah, I was involved with talks with CN in regards to the council meeting them and giving them our input about rail safety coming to our community, especially with more and more coming. That they need ERP, emergency response team, closer instead of in Prince George. There should be one here in Prince Rupert with all the volatile and flammable stuff coming here. It has to be closer. You can't be responding from Prince George, and I really appreciate them training on it, but help us with more equipment. You fire region for one, and big cannons, you name it. There's specialized equipment out there that could be helping us with. And a cache of these emergency firefighting equipment all along the rail line. And we've been lobbying them and we've been talking to them. They are their own.
All I can say, like I said, a lot of things, but all I'm gonna say is, it's been nice to be there today, through the morning, and not here, and that was one of the biggest things there. But anyway, we do a really super good working rapport with CN. We have really good meetings with them. They treat us very well. They give us extra money compared to different other communities. It's been a lot for us. I think the biggest thing is to make sure people are aware. The track is very dangerous. And keep the speed limit low until they have a fast battery and go from there.
Yes, training. That took over 4 years and over $2 million. And that's with the very vigilant. So that just gives you an idea of how long something takes when you're dealing with somebody like Steve. They do have speed limits. They are supposed to be going slow. But it's like the speed limits on our highway. Is somebody out there patrolling them? Is somebody out there seeing they're going too fast? Are they? So I mean, that's great. Let's tell them to slow down. They're supposed to. They don't. What can you do? Right? CN is its own entity, and we're just at their mercy. Thank you.
In my role, I work for emergency skill response, so I'm trained in emergency planning, and I think we can be more proactive and have an emergency action plan for our community. I live right beside the tracks. I see these bombs going by every day. If we ever had a derailment, we don't have much time before, you can have a levee. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but it's very nasty thing. The trains can blow up and they could end up at this old school. That's the distance they can fly. I want to know that that's going on, and I want to know what it's supposed to do in my community. Is there going to be an alarm? Someone's anyway, feel very strongly about this. We need a plan for our community, and we don't have to let that's something easily.
Thank you, Anne, so much.
It's a very general question. It can be taken many ways. We currently have protected level crossings with barriers, control arms, lights, signals, and sounds. They're all in place. As Christine pointed out, we should be more concerned about the vehicle traffic going up and down the road. People aren't monitoring that. People are speeding by all day long, in the evening. As Colleen mentioned about the having an emergency response plan, where are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to do? We do have the fire signal out there, the fire hall. But how much time do you really have? If you're in an earthquake, we're going to the table, under the desk. You don't have much time. Thank you.
Right, and then we have rebuttals, that's right. So first,
Just for your information, Christine, they can monitor the speeds on the trains. All it takes is somebody to make a complaint, they do have black boxes in the trains, and they can tell you exactly how fast in any part of the train. That's just information. Also, we do have, as you say, for the emergency response, and Kevin just touched on, we do have the air raid siren. The fire department is trained in emergency operations as far as for tsunamis, for anything that happens like that, on where are we going to muster, where are we going to put people. Sorry, no, that's right.
Yeah, the last thing I want is derailment, especially in our community. We got to protect the skin, we got to protect our citizens. Our citizens is the biggest important. To me, I care about my community. And if there's something to happen along the rail or the Highway 16, see how close we are to those rail lines? Something's got to be done because, you know, CN thinks they're above the law. And the only way we can let them know is keep on writing letters, keep on meeting with them, and bring it out. They need a better emergency response.
Yes, I've been working closely with other communities that are adjacent to the railroads. And we've been working through the federal government, our local member of parliament, Taylor background, and we all need to progress. They all have to be friendly, but we've got to work through the system. I spent 25 years working with railroads in my industry, and I know how they work. But we've got to get through the government in Ottawa, and I think we're making some progress.
and that is our
Yes, I do know about partnering with other communities, here with AFRAC, can lobby against them. Obviously, they are an entity, but they're not God. So, we do need to have some kind of action plan that the community knows about. It's one thing for the fire department to be aware of it, but I, as a personal citizen, don't have any idea what I'm supposed to do. And I don't think by the time the fire department comes and rounds me up and tells me to go up to some higher level, that I'm going to be prepared for that. We have to have more disclosure on that, and discussion on what things like this.
Now, is there any more results? Our last question before ending, right, is what plans do you have for the community in regards to environmental sustainability moving forward?
Thank you. Really, Christine, Mark, we're over to have the state ERC. If we monitor and upgrade, ensure that the capital going into that park meets or exceeds environmental standards. The derelict vessels that we have, one has been removed. The second one will be removed very shortly. As I speak, the city of Prince Council is being asked to approve a temporary land use to allow the contractor to industrial. We spend a lot of time making sure that the environment is safe. And I think we've done a very good job as citizens. I don't see garbage in the harbor, very plastic, or any leaks or anything like that. For instance, marine responses there very quick. I just hope that the work we're going to keep this happening.
I feel that we can't sit and pat ourselves on the back for the things that are in place. Yes, they're here and we need them, but we have to move forward. I think some of the stuff we're moving forward is we have to look at what the people want. Things like a recycling program, is that what the community would like to see? Are we able to recycle in our town, or are we going to have to keep using the things down at the store? Can we have pickup areas around town? These are the types of things, but we have to figure out what the people want. A lot of times, with all these things that people are talking about, oh, that we got to work for the community, well, we've got mayors and councils, and I just don't mean just us, the community, the mayors and councils that decide everything on their own and aren't talking to the people. It's like we know what's best for the people. We have to talk to the people. We have to know what you guys want. Without knowing what you guys want, it doesn't matter what I do because it's going to get frowned on. It doesn't matter what Mr. Jorndal does, it's going to get frowned on. It doesn't matter what anybody does. Right? We need your input.
Yes, I think we need community input on any environmental issues. But I can start by when you have a council meeting, you don't have to write down what you're going to say before. Anyone who's on council or mayor should have it up in the back of his head at all times. Ask me any question that should be able to answer. This has got to come from the community, not the school here anymore. We have to have the paper. You should know this stuff. And it starts with the community. Go through the ideas of what the community wants. That's it.
Yeah, we need as a community to be involved in maybe strategic planning sessions, town hall meetings, to hear your input, come up with a cleaner BC climate plan, continue the recycling, start the composting program, continue or even open up a community garden. We were so close to doing that. It almost started. Develop a transportation plan, recreational plan, continue to apply for grants, electrical car plug-in stations. And absolutely every which one of our previous speakers said, we need to involve the community. Maybe have those community cleanup. Because it really, that's one of my pet peeves, is somebody littering and just dumping in Port Edward. It's disrespectful to our environment. They just, anyway, they don't know whether to recognize them.
We've already got a bunch of this stuff in place. You said we got the sewage plan, we got our water treatment plan. We also have to really continue with core bank protection and the eel drive and the salmon returns. That's really important for us in our area. Renewable energy projects, huge. That's got to be done. Keep our thing going with the clean, neat, and green. That's an awesome thing. Keep our trees and oxygen and everything going well. Protect our habitat. This is where we live. This is where we love to live. We're going to keep that. Thank you.
Yes, I think Dan took my notes. Environmental. I'm big on that. Green space is really important. Park space is important. A nice walking path. We could walk along our waterfront, go down to the bridge. We had a study done for that, but there's no funding to do it. So we aren't just sitting around not doing anything about it. Community has to tell us. We can't read people's minds. You've got to let us know. We're all very open people with phones and their homes handy. Knock on the door, give us a call. Got an idea? I believe we're very open to any idea. It's got to get them to us. I've got 1,000 markets. Okay. We'll be together. Heat pumps, we just installed one. These can be installed on our community building. Solar geothermal, that's something that we can attempt. We don't have to spend a lot of money on it. You can get tied to the grid, net metering, you can put some hydro, stick a turbine up at Alvin Lake and the dam, get some generation of electricity from that.
stop mowing all the green. I know it's beautiful, but we should nature state that we won't be spending so much money mowing the lawns all the time. Let's take a section and just plant clover. Community composting, we can partner with Arrow Trading. I did a whole study on this, and we can create something called soil that actually form a business on. We've got solar photovoltaic heating for water, you can do thermal heating. There's so many different initiatives we can do in the district. You start small, just to see if it works out, and be a leader in your community, and perhaps people will start to get your homes as well. Thank you so much.
Well, Colleen is stealing my notes, right? I'm going to steal hers. But anyway, if you look at environmental sustainability under Webster's, it talks about how you're going to sustain things. How are you going to be looking forward to it? So, as Colleen talked about a couple of the items, what about the idea of encouraging water barrels? There are several people in the community that have gardens and vegetation stuff and collecting rainwater already. It's better for the vegetation, and more importantly, it's helping to reduce chlorinated water from getting into our water course, as well as putting strain on our water treatment system. I would propose no longer use of single-time plastic bags that are stored. I would encourage a responsible recycling program, a bigger facility. I know that council has been working on something previous. What about reducing energy consumption? The old school site that everyone's been talking about. The lights have been on in that building for over 2 years. Who's paying for that? We are. No successful community-driven cleanup. Thank you.
And I have one level in the ground here and another levels.
To continue on, I wouldn't mind seeing a new recreational area, which we are working towards pretty quick here. This way in the North Coast, with the District of Port Edward having recently started a process of seeking occupancy of the property over towards the bridge there, the Galloway turnoff. The early stages, we are looking to purchase it right now. And I promise to continue to be an advocate, and I always did.
Thank you. I have
Okay, in closing, another successful community cleanup event like the beach that I've already done, this time including the waterfront shoreline. By implementing changes, you will have a smaller carbon footprint, reduce the number of toxins that be released into the environment. Future generations will benefit from improved air and water quality, fewer landfill sites, and more renewable energy sources.
Yeah, just, we got on the topic quite a bit with environmental sustainability, but speak to things from last week about park and that. We applied for a grant for sure down near Galloway Mountains. We also got an agreement in principle with a private landowner to lease a piece of property to make a small paved park.
I just wanted to close with, I think there could be some confusion between what's environmentally sustainable and what's environmentally comfortable. Parks and everything, that's a fantastic idea for sure, absolutely. But we have to look at ways that we can reduce our carbon footprint. That's what environmental sustainability is all about. And ways that we can use less energy, ways that we can incorporate recycling into our world, composting, any kind of method like that.
And that's all we're going to have a 10-minute break. And when we come back, we're going to have questions.
All right, so we are going to get started. We've had Danielle welcome to ask the questions. And because the presentation, everybody is not talking very warm unless you are speakers, because sound does not travel super.
Good evening, thank you for inviting me. This is very exciting so far. And I'm starting with the first question just to fuel the fire a little bit. Where do you stand on implementing a recycling pickup in your community rather than the recycling bin at the store?
Thank you. Yeah, the recycling bins are quite a nice one. using a real big pickup of recycling with Prince Rupert or the curbside recycling. It can be implemented for that, but we're going to need public input into this on how it's accomplished. We need to buy a new truck. Bins, if you've seen the ones in Prince Rupert. And then we need additional work for public works, not to work around that. If I'm elected mayor, I want some really good public consultation around there because it may require taxing. Currently, the garbage pick up on your taxes is about $300 a year. I have no idea how much recycling costs, or we pick it up once a week for every cycle.
Because I mentioned before in my earlier questions, yes, that was one of the options as well, and that is possibly a recycling program. There's many ways for it to happen, and it all depends on the community. We have to reach out to people. I know it all seems like we're all jumping on the same bandwagon. Somebody says something, and everybody carries on through with it, but it really does come down to who's in our community and what they want to see. And I think we have to be more approachable to be able to take people's ideas, write them down, and see what we can do. That's where if we get a good team in here, we can actually talk about it in council, talk about your ideas, and see what we can do. And then bring it back to the public and say, you know what, this is where we're looking at going because of you. Is this the right plan? So we can even check back in. I think it's a good thing. I think getting rid of that thing at the store is definitely needed.
Okay, here's my idea. Now, we do have land for that homes. And I'm sure we can get a contractor in here to handle it without buying a truck or paying for employees. That's all the contractor has done in other communities. It works quite well. This idea of buying this, what for? You don't need to. Okay, that's it.
I'm in favor of it. You know, curbside makes it a lot easier for everybody. And we'll probably need to consult with the community with either regional district or the regional district about increasing the money. That's where we get our money from. We pay into that, and the recycling is with the regional district. We have to make our plan strategically, put a plan together in regards to the pickup. Is this what the community wants? I'm hearing some people want it. I'm in favor of it. But does the rest of the community want to pay more into it through the regional district? It will probably be matching grants that we have to. But I think, you know what, I'm going to do my research and I'll look into it. It is something that we never discussed at the council level, but I know we're paying into it. And recycling is what we need on there.
Well, I think it's a great idea, just because of the convenience for most people. Yes, it's going to be a little pricey, and we'll see how much that will be. But the brother in Campbell's has got two great big cans, one's got blue, one's got green one. You don't have to sort it out, recycle stuff, or truck comes along, the same truck picks up both, boom, gone. That's the end of it. It's super easy. Make it convenient for everybody to deal with it instead of put out the bins with most of the time. So, it's a great idea. I think we really need to check into the cost and what you guys are going to pay.
Yes, we just recently got a new garbage truck. And when we were in the process of buying it, I wanted to go with the recycle, the bins and the pickup and all that. And we had a big garbage truck. We had to take like a year and a half or something for the garbage truck to come in when it got ordered. And the cost was, sorry, Carl, I can't remember the numbers, but the cost was a lot. get it. I would love my recycling to be picked up at my door, but is everybody willing to pay extra? That's something that the community needs to let us know. Then, we know you guys are willing to pay more, then we can start investigating, initiating it, and hopefully making it happen. I'm for recycling, definitely.
This is Dawn. I'm a part of the floor of the The bins are always full, definitely at the store. And it is up to the community if they want to spend more money on their taxes to have this service given to them. I know the bins are quite expensive if you use it, which tends to happen with our weather. They're like $100 a piece. A lot of the bigger ones, but apparently the small ones are great. You can't recycle glass. You can recycle it if you bring it in, but they won't allow you to have bins or anything. They won't pick up glass. So just as a note. And it would be nice if the bins that we have, I know the regional district was thinking of, I had heard that they were going to give us some nicer ones, maybe they look a bit better, not an eyesore. That's definitely the first step, and then kind of get that done, and then see if the community wants to pay that extra money. It's not for us. Thank you so much.
Well, a better organized recycling program or recycling facility like Carl was talking about, and as Canute stated, that there will be costs associated with it. It's funny because I'm not a big recycler, but I've been becoming one. So I go down and I drop the stuff off there. Actually, I get to meet some of you. I get to find out who's just had a baby. So we're going to go there and pick our mail up. So we're getting our recycle picked up at our door. Is Canada Post going to deliver our mail to the house? Probably not. Recycling program in the community, it was implemented. Where did the money come from, as they mentioned? Where's the equipment to come from? Currently, our Public Works Department already costs us, the taxpayer, $886,000 annually, approximately 20% of the Port Edward financial plan for existing services they already provide without adding any more. Where's the money going to come from? Thank you.
I have 3 levels. We will start with
Yeah, and I was on the recycling committee for a number of years, and recycling does not pay. We lose on the recyclables out in the plant. There's a lot of costs associated. One of them is that we're so far away from the market. Most of these things go to Vancouver, there's metal to recycle, it's cardboard to be exported, and paper goods like that. So we're at a hell of a disadvantage. But we can pick it up.
I propose that we have a town hall meeting so that we can hear it from the residents. Promote this properly and hear their input. Because I know we did, like Christine said, we discussed it. And there was just the cost outweighed. You know, it was going to be expensive. It wasn't going to be cheap. But if we find grants out there to help pay for it, it will help us.
Everybody's looking at the cost of it. Yes, it's going to cost a lot of money, and we'll represent it. But it might be something that the taxpayers are looking to do. But the other things, the other benefits you're going to get from this is recycling. You can end up with jobs that then you can bring businesses into your community with. It's things that will attract people. So it's not just a cost to do. You're going to reclaim some in taxes. You're going to reclaim some in jobs, in people moving to town, people coming around. It's things that will go back. Yes, it'll be slow to get there, but it's going to come.
for this next question, Mr. Lemon.
Right. Question is, what are your solutions for better and increased police presence in Port Edward?
And so we use much.
Wow. My thoughts are, we need to be more observant and aware of our neighborhood and our surroundings. You're away on holidays, you tell anybody, oh, look, there's a strange car in his driveway. Oh, he must be moving. No, someone's loading his TV out of his house. As a community, we can do our part to observe, record, and report, like the neighborhood block watch in most other communities. It seems to be working for them. Why not for us? expect to get better services or increased services from the RCMP without it costing more. An increased police presence could come at an increased cost. Currently, our share of the taxpayers for protection services is $95,000 annually, approximately 2% of the Port Edward financial plan. Thank you.
Basically, what Kevin said. We used to have a neighborhood watch many years ago. Some of it was held at the post office, just a bunch of people talking about all that I was talking about. And now currently it's mostly people texting each other saying, did you see that guy living around your house? It is some kind of, insider stuff that everyone shares information about. But I think there is a strain on the RCMP. There is a cost to it as well. And it isn't impossible to do a block watch when there's money in storage. And we can apply to do that. It's going to take some volunteers. But I think it's a community. It's worthwhile. And then you're looking out for each other and your neighbor, and you know that there's extra eyes on
things. We have the staff sergeant comes out every 3 months and gives us a report of what's going on, but he also has the same struggle as everybody else, staffing shortage. And we share the RCMP, Port Ed shares the RCMP with the outlying areas. So if those two RCMPs are out dealing with business there, we have no way. So we work really hard to get them to cover it with a different RCMP member than who is designated. Short staff. It seems like we go in walks. All of a sudden, it's like every day you'll see police cars around, and then we won't see them for months. So I'm not too sure how we can regulate that or do more than we already are by going to meet with the boss and saying we need to go there more. And I totally agree. I'm like, nosy neighbor here.
Thank you, Mr. Francis.
One time, a fair amount of time ago, long-term residents will remember we have 11 families of police that live out here in Port Edward. And one was called Port Ed Ted, and he was diligent about making sure our community was safe. But yeah, so as Christine said, that we are in sync with the district police force, goes out to all the villages and all that stuff. So when they're not out there to those party bays and all that type of thing, and they're here supposed to be doing our policing. I think if we could share that time a little bit more with them, they do have staff shortages, but we need almost another 7 so that they can be out to the villages and they can be here as well. It's just tough, really tough. We've been working on this solution for as long as I can remember. So it's just one of those really tough ones.
Thank you. Mr. Ryan?
Tito. But I know the staff sergeant does come out and does a report with us whenever he can. I think that's the time we could, express how much we want them to continue their patrols out here. We could, phone them up and give us their card, the contact number, or call them, whatever. So all we need to do is phone them up and tell them, oh, we need to increase because their speeders go on Highway 6, the Skeena Drive. And there's RCMP that are living out here right now. And I'm going to be talking to them about on their way home or on their way to work or even on shift. Come and check your place in Port Edward. Go around Port Edward and have a look. Check out while you're going home and while you're on your way to work. That could add more to the patrol while they're living out here.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, there's a couple of RCMP ones live on 2 houses up. I mean, I think the other one is down. So that has a town covered. And they do roar around. But we can't be asking those people as citizens that live out here to do patrols on their own time. I think what we could ask for, for instance, is with the voters, maybe split some time and more time for us. That might work. But I think, walking around the office. And cameras on everybody's phones. That seems to be a really good story. That's it.
Thank you. So,
Yeah, the only thing I was going to say on that one is that I think the COP program can work again, but as Carl said, a lot of people don't have the time to put in on their own. They're not going to do it on their own private time, but they might have pitched an incentive. If we could even do an incentive program for that type of a program, for COP programs is non-control. People might take it up and might want to drive around and they're not going to be stopping anybody. They're not going to be interacting with anybody that's doing it. They're just going to be on the radio or on the cell phone, I guess would be the way it would go and talk to you as if you to say, okay, I'm seeing something going on over here. And if they do see somebody running from somebody's house, they can at least get an idea of where they're going and follow them around without being too close to them. Be driving around the streets if they don't. But you need to, nowadays, you need to put the incentive there. It's hard to get volunteers anymore. I know that when I was with the fire department. It's really hard to get volunteers.
Yes. Thank you. We have seen an increase RCMP patrols over the last 2 years. Also seen traffic stops down at the store, out on the highway. We never had it before. The good news is in 2019, at the UBC Council body, Solicitor General, and they added 2 more people to the rural staff. They also want to deal with admin and consumers. We don't have a rural person available to come here. They will take somebody from Princeton. This is working fairly well. I'm on first name basis with the commanding officer and some of the members. And I believe we have better police today. But we only pay $40,000 a year for the RCMP.
I have one about Ms. Brown.
Yeah, I also wouldn't mind seeing revived the community watch. There is a crime, reported crime with the crime. Believe it or not, I phone that number all the time. If I see something suspicious, if I see somebody at my neighbor's house, or I see something going on, maybe somebody's in a casino drinking and partying it up, I will phone the RCMP. And that's what we all should do. We should, let them know when somebody's out of line and don't engage them.
And
Next question is, what does your future Port Edward look like?
and we'll start off with Ms. Brown.
Good. So, of course, the future for that is very bright. But there are some key areas we need to focus on. We need to raise the population. I've always had sort of out there goal. We get to 900. It'll encourage retail growth, make the school more sustainable, and attract other businesses. The promotion of the commercial area behind the store with the harbor avenue may happen if we get government partner. There's some things happening in the marine environment, or the harbor authority is putting new stock space for more fish on board. We've applied for a portion lease up in Calgary Rapids. We've got an understanding of that landowner the leases. We need more regulation.
My future plan looks like more businesses in town, a restaurant, possibly, like I said before, a small clothing store, a store that's you're going to be able to get all your needs. More than just one store. We need businesses here, and that's where we're going to get the tax base from. Or a good part of the tax base is also going to increase the tax rates. So we definitely need that. My future Port Edward looks like people walking around and enjoying each other's company on the streets, block parties, have having things in the community center for the public, bringing the people together. That's where we're going to get the answers. That's where we're going to get all the comments on where the people want to go with it. We have to bring the people together more. We have to bring you together more to get your responses, to get your questions, so that we can answer them properly and meet one of you. That's my program.
Thank you. Mrs. Schmidt.
Well, I agree we should have more businesses here, but the land should hopefully won't just screw up like last time. Richie wanted to move in here, so all of a sudden move in, they finally got out of this end. And they bought land down the industrial park, we could have had that. But it's other things. You gotta really concentrate on what a business wants to come in here. It helps everyone, it helps the tax base, it gives jobs. So really look at it in a professional way. That might help a lot. I think.
Thank you. Mr. Brown.
What I see in the future of Port Edwards prosperity, we did a strategic planning in 2019, planned the future of Port Edwards and put together a good community future plan. And one of them was open to business. It was very disappointing to lose Bridgeport. And I pushed for it and I pushed for it and it just didn't work out. I think we pushed too hard that we could have been, more, we could have been more lenient in ways instead of putting too much bylaws and building codes in the way. They almost set up. But we followed what our plan was. We only told our CAO what we needed, and on the other hand, we didn't know what she was saying. We hear things, but we don't know what she was saying until the end.
I think future Port Edwards was awesome. We're really good financial state. And over the next 4 years, I think it should be more senior housing, affordable housing, more roads and sidewalks being done. It's right now. More trails like the planned seawall trail that we have in the works right now. Improvements to our dog park, better bus schedules, smart growth, some more tourism opportunities, more industry. More work on the Northwest Cannery is looking good, but we need more. I don't know if anybody's been to Dan Lake, but one of them interesting. I will not even take company out there. It's just horrible. Really get on the fast to work on that one. Thank you.
Okay, future Port Edwards. I really like what I see, green, quiet, peacefulness, but I do agree we do need businesses. We need some tax bases so that we can give our people in the community what they want. Slower drivers on the road, it's neat, clean, and green are important. But I agree with Pauline, we have way too much lawn to be cut. I would love to see, how they can set up trees and stuff so we can have walkways around them so that there's no maintenance. Talking about special needs. But it's natural, it looks good, low maintenance, and you can walk around. We need areas that we can walk, not just our streets. Bush paths and waterfront. Yeah, that's what I would like to see put in there. Walking path along the highway, get people off the highway here. And there's road allowances to deals with the department highways, so that's definitely something. Driving store, we need to see what the store is spoken to where. They want to have a little cafe in there, they want to put the post office in there, the post office, building, I can see that would be an improvement. Some kind of a library, used bookstore, some kind of computer access space. We used to have something like that at the school, perhaps. Green space, definitely a lot of nature space. So, yeah, because we're mowing stuff and actually walking and investing in things, it's all solid and it's costing a lot of money, so there's no good point to it.
And allowing new businesses to come in, thinking outside the box a little bit more. We could have some small businesses that don't require big industry. And putting them in some areas, zoning wise, so that it's more of a
Thank you so much.
Well, the future Port Edward should be a vibrant community, growing, one you can raise families, you can spend time with your family. It should be a strong community that embrace business development in both tourism and marine sectors, both commercially and recreationally. It should be a work with the current businesses to help expand and help them remain in our community because they are important to us. We have carpenters, we have machine operators, we have people that have small businesses, and they are the backbone of our community. It should be an area to enjoy our parks, our green spaces, our nature spaces. We should have full access to the ocean. We're quite fortunate that we do have this boat launch here. Prince Rupert, they have Rush Club. That's about it. You can't get down to the water. Yeah, you do the peninsula, but it should be a community that listens to its residents. And it should be a community that cares for its people.
I have 3 rebuttals here. Mr. Jordan's and Mr. Brown's at that. Mr. Jordan.
It's an economic principle. People attract business. In 1973, this was a shopping center, grocery store, and all that kind of stuff. We're now at 550. We don't have a population to support a grocery store. We can hardly support the store we have. We've got to get the population up to 900,000. That will attract other businesses. It's the only way there is no magic bullet. People just come out here and hope that Prince Rupert drives somebody to buy something.
We're getting bashed for Ridgeview Marine. I just want to find out a little bit of a story. Ridgeview Marine came up with a plan. It was a really good plan. It was going to work out great for the community. They changed that plan to be a terrible plan. It wasn't going to work very good for the community. And I believe that at that point that they were also looking at the properties. I don't believe that we scared them away. They already had their eyes on the property in Prince Rupert. And so that's just, I just wanted you guys to know that it wasn't our fault.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah, adding more to Dan's story, they were going to turn it into just a place to park their boats that they built. That's what they were going to put there. And he kept on changing the plan on it. We were trying to work together with him. And he kept on changing the plan. And yet, he's talking with another property owner in town that he was ultimately closer to closing. But we need businesses up here. And we can be more passive and more open to them.
One thing to mention as well, and I'm not council about it, but when we go to the council meetings, you can't ask questions unless it's a part of what the meeting is. And I think what we should probably start doing is maybe biannually or quarterly have a community forum so that people just can come up to the mic and ask questions in council. And of course, we're not going to have all. They do not have all the answers, but that they can get back to the community in some kind of a letter or something. That is the only way people can get any thoughts.
All right, we have time for questions. I have one more result, and then we'll have one on this. I'd like to take more, but that's how we're doing it.
I want to ask you, as future mayor and council, how would you reinforce your relationship with Prince Rupert?
All right, we'll start with this question.
Can you please repeat the question? We couldn't quite hear it.
Question is, as future mayor and council, how would you reinforce your relationship with Prince Rupert?
Is the clock started? Reinforce our relationship. I would probably try and have an open forum with them. What happens in Prince Rupert is Prince Rupert's business. What happens in Port Edward is our business. The two are jointly connected. However, we we shouldn't be playing second fiddle to them. We are our own entity.
I think while we are separate entity, absolutely, we do have some common ground and common needs. And I think we're just starting to now work with them as opposed to have internet wars against them. So I think that relationship has to keep going. And there's a possibility where there could be council meetings between groups, perhaps they could be on some kind of regular schedule, but there has to be a relationship because we do have combined interests in the north. We could be working together instead of working separately.
I agree with, that we need to work with Prince Rupert on common interests that we have. I can tell you in the last year that the relationship has improved. We need to get back to being social with them and having council meetings with them, having get-togethers with them, so that they start to trust us, so we can trust them and do what they're saying. But they have different agenda items than we do, so we need to stay somewhat separate. But we used to be the bedroom community of Prince Rupert, and we were really well and open at that point. We saw each other on a regular basis, and I hope that we can get back to that kind of a relationship.
We used to meet quarterly with Rupert, and we always had a good rapport with them until complaining people that we bring the Bob Long came along. They pretty much destroyed our relationship in an instant. Since Bob's been gone, it's gotten much better with their new CEO. And Lee, for some reason, in the last year and a half, come around quite a nice fellow. But prior to that, people, I know it sounds bad, but it was bad. Thank you.
Yeah, for years, all the time I've been in council, we got along with Prince Rupert. But sure, we had our differences. And we got over it because the mayors got together and started talking. And we are now in good relations with them again because we need them when we lobby the government, especially on related issues like there's Prince Rupert Port Authority, scrap the tax. We need to scrap that tax and we need Prince Rupert along our side because we already did that at the UBCM. We went there and we talked to them and we were in the same meeting as Prince Rupert and the minister to raise the issue that they need to pay their share. And there's other related issues that we could stick together at, and we need to continue good relations with Prince Rupert. It makes us stronger, it makes our voices louder when we sit across the table from the government.
Yes, we could get along with Rupert. I mean, I thought they always had. Politicians being dumbass politicians. You know what's going to happen. Now we're going to have a new one. Of course, get along with them. We've got the same issues. That's it.
I agree, we definitely have to work with them as well. I understand you, Mr. White, when you're saying we are separate, we definitely are. And we have to keep them on autonomy, but we do have to work with them as well. And in order to work with them, even when we're upset or we're not liking an issue, we're going to have to smile at them, deal with them, not cave into them because we definitely want to do that. But the more we can get along with them and make them talk, even having separate issues, the more we're going to keep building that relationship. It's coming to a understanding, even if it's a difference of opinion, it's still an understanding rather than putting anger forward with it. We have to step up, we have to be able to talk and talk calmly and put our issues out. But we definitely have to keep going on against it.
Yes, when I took over the mayor in 2018, the only conversation that I had with Pete Brain, he was yelling we're working towards those things that are of mutual interest. We join forces to fight back against the poor tax cap, the ridiculous property assessments that we have. We need to work with them. We can't be bad neighbors, fighting neighbors. The two things we have to look at. First of all, we have to take the highway. Secondly, we got to look for the common good. Don't do that, we're going to have a lot. And I look forward to good relationships with pursuit. I have relationships with both the council and leading the train as a lowest.
I have one rebuttal, Mr. Rose, in fact.
Okay.
I'll restart the timer.
I just want to continue on with working with Mr. Hooper. We did already show an agreement with them, and it's something that we needed to put in place, the prosperity and the mutual aid agreement. And for a long time, there was up in the air whether it was even going to happen. But now it's there, and we're getting along with them. We're having meetings, sessions and talks with them.
And you just heard Mr. Norwell rebuttal.
Yeah, just to build on Councilman Brown's. We lost our mutual aid with the fire department. We've had it reinstated. We've also got a long-term agreement with on the supplying of water. We've also got, we're just working on it as we speak, reduced a 40% surcharge on us dumping garbage up their land.
Oh, and one more rebuttal, thanks so much.
I'm thankful that the previous council has had so much interaction with Mr. Rick, and I value that. It would be nice for us as a community to know, as we're going through some of these things, that we're not all alone, that we are actually working jointly with them. I didn't quite understand the question as it was asked, but I agree that we do have to have some type of working relationship. Thank you.
Okay, at this point, I don't have a question from the audience, which is at the 9, but we do have time for one question.
So I heard the model talk about developing permit, and I'm really curious where you're at with supporting businesses and developing enhancing their products. For example, we wanted to rehouse on a property, we were told one would be a $6,000 survey, and then no one else in the district office answered or would answer a single question. And phone calls, 20 emails, so I'm curious how you're focusing so much on, oh, let's build these new houses, trying to support the residents, and then enhancing their properties.
Pardon? I didn't really hear the question.
I didn't hear
So as far as enhancing the properties and for the residents to be able to enhance their own properties. Everyone here has spoken about like developing the trailer court and doing all this kind of thing. All we wanted to do was to be able to build a greenhouse to literally farm vegetables for ourselves to eat. And we were told we needed a $6,000 legal survey, and then over 10 phone calls and 20 emails, no one else could answer a single question about it. So if you're pushing all this new development, try to support the residents that live here, the young families that live here, to be able to actually do things on the properties that we own.
I didn't hear it correctly. I just wanted to make sure that I answered it correctly. Unfortunately, some of our bylaws are very old and very outdated, and it prohibits the development. I built a greenhouse. I wanted to build a 10 by 12, but that exceeds 107 square feet to build without a permit. And I'm spending $5,000 to get that one. So the new council, we did talk about this council before that we have to update the bylaws Some of them are pretty archaic. This is a small town. It's not like going to Vancouver or Victoria. We have to tailor the bylaws to the town. I've been working on that for 8 years on the same page. So hopefully over the next council, the tax laws.
Thank you.
I agree with you, it's hard to get answers. It's hard to find out what the bylaws even say a lot of times. You've got to be able to walk into that office, ask for a copy of the bylaws, and be given them. And if you're unclear on how they're read, you should be able to ask the question, and they can answer. If they can't answer, they should be working for you to find an answer. So, I mean, it's easy for me to say, I'm not in there right now, but if your mayor and your council are approachable, if you're not getting answers from the district office, you should be able to go to mayor and council and say, look, we're looking for these answers and we're not getting them. Why not? You guys are the people of Portneuf. We're all the people of Portneuf. And we make up what's going on in Portneuf. So we have to have some rights and have to be able to have some rights to answer. You're entitled to those answers. As far as the prices, I can't tell you what it costs for a survey, but yes, we need to revisit the bylaws.
Need to revisit the bylaws, even the new ones make it ridiculous. But as far as your $6,000 survey, you know where the pins are. There is a map of the property of the office. Shouldn't be too hard to figure that out.
The legal land survey was required. And because these pins have to be
To build a-
survey done by
To build a small greenhouse, you have to, that is totally insane.
greenhouse.
As per all.
Oh, right,
As per volume.
you put all kinds of shacks up, you put all
I heard volume.
up. You can see
As
the-
per quality or volume? Volume, that's right, yeah. Volume is volume, not volume. You're not from.
I think
Let's
here
keep
in
discussion on this side.
the mayor should be fully aware of the bylaws. You're gonna get the answers all the time.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Okay, on my walk well, I've been hearing about the bylaws and how strict they are. And I know at a council level, we talked about updating and revising our bylaws because how restricted and how dated it is. It's a joke sometimes. And I know what you're talking about, your response in the office. I've been hearing it everywhere about no people's skills and no answers and how they don't have any empathy for people that come to the office. It's just, they don't know how to answer the questions. And with respect to the people that ask, I've been hearing it everywhere. If I haven't made it to your house, you know, I will. But you know what? They need to update those bylaws where it can, you know, help our own citizens out there. Thank you.
Feel bad too, how you've been treated. I have a large big house in my yard. I'll talk to you after this. I can't do it in 30 seconds. I'll talk to you.
Sorry, can you speak out?
For me?
Can you speak out?
I just said I want to talk to her personally and see where I get you. So, you know, greenhouse should be noticed when we did talk about it. There should be no restriction on anything. Not no.
I'm sorry that that happened to you also. There was another situation, and the person went to the office and didn't get results. He came and knocked on my door, filled me in, I went to the office and was able to help him get answers. The whole thing is you need the answers. That's what we're here for, and make sure you get your answers. I don't know your situation. The only reason I can understand you need a survey is that you don't build on somebody else's property. But, you know, as long as you know where your property is, and then of course there's bylaws for the size of your greenhouse. those are not unreasonable. If you like somebody to come next door to you and build a 20 by 20 greenhouse or farm on your property, that's a bylaw or code. Some of them can be extreme and can be old, and that's when we need to come to us, so these bylaws don't work. Then we work with the group, fix the bylaws. And I'm sure that it's not easy. Thank you. This is John.
I think we've identified a problem here. We've all probably dealt with this same situation. I've got 5 or 6 instances from people just going for walks listening. I've had my own situation. That needs to be addressed, absolutely. Not to mention and the bylaw situation. And it should be, I guess, going to your door. There has to be an avenue for people to sidestep perhaps administrative people who are not giving you the answers that you want. We've got to have more of a direct link somehow so that we can get control. Because sometimes, and I know this for a fact, you guys may not even know what's going on, and people are just dealing with that situation and not knowing that the councilperson is probably every other 3 days. So there's some gap there as well, but it's definitely a problem.
Mr. Manager.
I commend you on your tenacity and your ability to kind of keep fighting. When we bought our little house on Stephen Drive, I went to the district office and they said, "Oh no, that's the right of way." I said, "Really?" And I went and got the plan. I went and got up a pavement and said, "Nope, not a right of way." Matter of fact, that guy's house is halfway on the right of way. That's our land. Everyone thought the line behind our house was the right of way. It wasn't part of our property. So I commend you for wanting to yield the answers. And yes, it needs to be addressed.
I have one about.
Yeah. This has been an ongoing problem since I took over as mayor. We're slowly working through these issues. People want to know, people, I don't answer the phone, they come to the house. The new council would really like to have to address some of these things. People should have the right to manage their property within certain parameters. The other thing is we're not losing these things and have more ability to have barriers.
Why, they had a housing inspector out here, I realized he retired. He was able to go and look at anyone, whatever they were building, and tell them, and help them if need be. This is not the way to do it, this is the way to do it. Why has mayor and council turned around and make anyone that wants to build an outhouse has to go to Prince Rupert, get an architect to design it, they have to pay for that. Then it has to come back here. And there's still no one out here to say it's okay.
Mr. Manager.
Part of the process, if you attend a council meeting, because I did attend council meetings in person, I know that the CAO wants a written item that you want to add to the agenda. Doesn't have to be all your question, just say, I would like to talk about agreements. It has to be put on the agenda to get your opportunity to speak in front of council, which then it is public information. Then the council, we need to address it. And if we're not addressing it, come back and say, I would like to discuss agreements.
Thank you. Mr. Brown.
Yeah, I agree. We need to get that housing inspector out here, our own, appoint our own person. Because using somebody else in town, we put the advertising out there, we put the viewers out there to get somebody, to recruit somebody. And I think it's important that we do need to get the most qualified person out here that knows how to resolve the issues with the property lines and where.
Thank you. And
Yes, I know they did appoint Katie, but he doesn't hold a ticket, and he can't write off any construction.
Nobody is here. Qualified guys here. The question is on.
But the old housing fellow that retired, he was able to write off. Okay, fine. So why should we be going through Rupert? Why don't we hire somebody
anybody can do this.
You're gonna let you find out.
And legally sign them up.
Thank you. We now have time for our closing statements. We have 1 minute, and we will start with Isabel. Yeah.
Thank you all for coming out this evening. Thank you to the moderators. Whatever was right view, that we all work towards common goals and have the necessary skills and experience to lead us over the next 4 years. I heard the residents' questions, concerns that can be brought forward to the next council. There is no easy route. Being a mayor or a councilor is dedication, commitment, engagement, and belief in the common good. Recent developments have made advocating for change in the way we deal with the property, the tax cap, and advocating for more federal and provincial funding for houses and infrastructure. We can go achieve those goals I promoted, not with support, maybe with goals that we want.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming out. I want to say thank you for the concerns, for the questions, for you guys listening to us. I hope that it's been enough to give you guys an informed choice when it comes time to the vote. Please come out for the vote. Please get your neighbors, your friends, everybody that you know in Port Ed to come out for the vote. Because if we're not getting many people for the vote, you're not getting a true representation of what the people want. So try to encourage people to come out for the vote. I don't care who you're voting for. You're voting for myself, Mr. Gordell, and Carl for mayor. Come out for the vote, because without coming out, your vote's not going to count. And your questions aren't going to be heard. Sorry. So please make sure you go out and vote, help people. I want to thank my wife. She's been my supporter. She's been my strength. She's always there to help me, to guide me, to push me along. Thank you.
Well, my idea is more transparency. Like this idea of writing what you want to ask the council for a meeting, it stops people from coming. It should be more open. We should all be able to come to any meeting and stand up, and everybody on council, including the mayor, should have every answer for every citizen on here before that. Shouldn't be a problem. There's not that many people out there. It can't be that confusing. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Brown?
I also want to thank you all for coming out. Really appreciate it. And if I were successful and getting re-elected as a councilor district coordinator, I will continue to be dedicated and devoted to this community because I love this community. I'm open, I'm transparent, I'm accountable, and I've proven that by being on so many years already, and I will continue to be a strong voice. I got a vision of what I would because you helped me with the input, and that's what I respectfully seek your support and vote on October 15th. Please get out the vote. My endeavor is to keep Port Edward safe and the continuity of our council. Please feel free to call me if you have any questions. I handed out brochures with my phone number in it. Thank you very much.
So, yeah, thanks for coming out, you guys, and I do work for you guys, and what I've heard tonight is that dealing with the office has been a bit of a challenge. If you guys have a challenge with the office, whatever, please give me a call. I did go door to door, everybody should have one of these. My number's on it, where I walk community all the time, so I'm always out there. So, I'd love to continue working with you guys and through our community, and I think we have place where we live, other than it's just awesome. So we'll work with the windows. If you guys have anybody else come call, just give us a call. Thank you.
Yes, yes, thank you for coming on. impressed with how many people have showed up. It's a really good sign, because we need to hear from you. We get left alone in that room and nobody talks to us. We don't know what you guys are thinking. We need you to open up to us at our door, on our walks, whatever. Don't let the office tear you down. That's just another part of how this operation runs. I've been doing this for 17 years. Still love doing it. This community is very important to me, as well as the people who live here. Look forward to being here for you, and look forward to your support.
Yes, thank you everybody for showing up. I was surprised at the numbers too. We live in a pretty great place. We're pretty lucky in BC. As far as BC goes, we have water, we don't have fires, we don't have floods. We're a small community. We should be able to do things a little bit easier. We're trying to get the community back together, spend some time, get to know your neighbor. We all deserve to live in a place that's healthy and supports our well-being. So I hope the council, whether it is on the meeting, recognizes all this and makes life a little bit easier for people who want to do some changes to their properties or want to enhance their experiences better, start a business, stuff like that. And should be easier because we're small and
Opportunities start when we show up, when we all show up. I have an opportunity to represent you on your council as board ed. You have an opportunity to do your part in change. From October 15th, have your vote counted. Elections are about the future. Have your voice heard, and let's work together for a brighter future. My mentor shared with me one day, you know, you'll be part of a problem, part of a solution, but choose. So I speak to you and say, I have chosen part of the solution. Thank you for your time. Wait for your families. I look forward to working with you on council in your time. Thank you, moderators, the gentlemen looking after the funds. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. And that concluding, thank you to all who participated in the all members forum tonight, especially thank you to Daniel Dalton, acting as our panelist. This concludes tonight's forum.